I ever defeated unless I don't want to play? Never. So, it's the day after the 4th of July, and I'm here in full authenticity and raw form, here to declare my independence. You know, for a long time, I've really been wanting to do this. Become a content creator, stream, be able to increase my position and gather resources so I can influence certain aspects of life and create at a higher degree. Upon reflection, I'm like, yo, what really kept me from doing this? Because I wanted to do this for a long time. It's 2026 now. I think I started wanting to do this in 2016. So that was a whole decade ago, fresh out of high school. The next year after I graduated, I'm like, this is what I want to do. But I always was like, oh, I'm not in a good enough circumstance where I feel free enough to create. I always made excuses for what I really enjoyed. Got me a water bottle because it's so humid and warm. Some mister. Let's just let you catch any little breeze, you know what I'm saying? But I was reflecting when I woke up this morning because I knew I was gonna set my intentions. And I'm gonna tell you why I knew I was gonna set my intentions, and I knew I was gonna be successful this time. Because upon reflection, when I was making excuses for why I can't do this, I had to think about all of the other things in life that I didn't want to do, that I became very good at. And then I had to think about the things that I enjoy, that I'm an ascended master at. It just comes intuitively, it flows naturally. I'm able to adapt willingly. I'm able to get downloads and receive information and level up. I'm interacting with it lively in real time, reading it, feeling it, I am it. So it's like, am I pondering? I'm like, I'm working these jobs, going these places, I'm bound in these environments I don't really want to be in, but I'm making the best of it. And it's consuming this energy, and I'm being consistent, and I'm elevating. But it's always some paradigm that's not in full control by me. So I'm like, why am I wasting my time putting all of this energy, especially after a decade, into things that I don't really want to do? And I've watched in the span of a decade so many people who weren't there when I wanted to start become highly successful. And I'm happy for them because they motivated me. They let me know how possible it is for me. But I was always making excuses. So why I'm not making excuses now, why I'm out here in the morning, still not in the best of circumstances, still not in the environment I want to be in, now deciding to do it, because I'm declaring my independence. 2026 is the year of the 10, 1-0, binary. I'm directly influencing the code of the matrix. CERN has been turned off. And I done been through spiritual warfare my entire life. I come from a bad stock of, how would you call it? The spiritual warfare within the family. Like, you just gotta break them chains, you know? Gotta break them chains. I come from bad stock, to be honest. Like, one of the things when I was growing up, I seen all of these other families in comparison to mine just having so much love and unity and compassion and cooperation. And it's like, my family is very haughty, and they'll sit there and smile in your face and not for nothing and be with you, but really they judgmental of you, and they want to feel like they're better than you. And if you show evidence that that's not the case, they hate on you and sabotage you. And so me, especially when I first learned about astrology, and I figured that my sun sign was a Pisces. I identified with it in my lack of complete total knowledge, and I'm still not complete and total knowledge, but I'm more aware than I was. I was bound by me believing that I could only harness the traits of my sun sign, and I'm like, I'm very emotional about this. I felt like, yo, especially back then, I was in so much sports. I was very physically fit, right? And I always had this beard. I had a mustache in kindergarten, no lie. I had a full beard in high school. Middle school, I had a goatee. You know what I'm saying? Elementary school, this was dark as this. No cap. I always looked older than I am. I've always been wise beyond my years, too. So I felt like I graduated finally from the spiritual warfare when I was able to realize, you know, because I come from this stock and I felt this way about my family, and I was filtering it through that lens of what I thought that I wasn't able to progress past how I felt about it emotionally. So God was giving me more obstacles to go through in my life that was building up the things inside me that allowed me to confront these obstacles. And every time I jumped over these hurdles, I increased my velocity, I increased my height, and I became more confident. But to see, that's the funny thing about God, is because he's working outside of time and outside of your awareness sometimes. You would think that you're going through seemingly random things, but then a moment will come where you reflect and it's like, yo, he was preparing me, giving me all of the items, all of the power-ups, all of the magical abilities to be able to access this level and conquer it. I wouldn't have been sitting here before you in 2016 with this authenticity. I wouldn't even have known what to talk about. I came out here no script, like, you know what I'm gonna talk about? Authenticity. Then I'm gonna share and just flow, because that's who I am, you know? I feel like authenticity is the most powerful form of a frequency. And once you separate from how you think you're supposed to be perceived by others, and once you realize that this scape that's been created on the internet is malleable, ever-changing, and you're able to go back and reflect and see growth, it's a whole different paradigm of a reality than the physical world. So I'm here like, yo, I'm standing in my power, but I'm sitting down because I'm a king and a throne now. Like, yo, I done been through the darkest storms and I'm still here. That's for another time to tell you about the things I went through, but I done been through some things that people definitely checked out for. I done had the thought plenty of times, but it's like, I know I'm so blessed, it'd be a waste for all of the blessings that God has given me, even though I'm not in a physical place, in this space, in the matrix I want to be in. I literally have all of the keys to be able to ascend to higher levels and be a good steward of what I've been granted, to help others, to be a positive influence, to radiate a positive frequency that can jump to others and they harness and amplify that. So that's why I'm making this, because I know I don't have any expectations anymore about what to expect from this, because I'm gonna throw myself at it. And that's where life lies. In the constant flux, in the battle, in the exchange of the day-to-day, and constantly learning and applying and adapting. And that's what I'm about to do with this on a day-to-day. I've watched over the past 10 years how things progress, how things decline, how you elevate. And I'm like, you know what? As long as I'm consistent, as long as I approach this with no expectation other than being my authentic self and just growing over time without an expectation of the growth, I'm sitting in a resonant frequency of I'm actually doing what I enjoy. Because like I said, I have become very good at doing things I don't enjoy. Very good. Most times the best. But when we talking about things that I do enjoy, when am I ever defeated unless I don't want to play? Never. I'm still here through all my turmoil. No cap. You know? My mom gonna call me in the middle of my video. It's about my baby. Come back. Oh, she stopped calling. Never mind. I'm gonna wrap this up in the next 2 minutes. You know, like I said, I didn't really have no script. I just wanted to get out in nature and put this energy that I felt out there, because I'm content, comfortable with my approach and my position to this now. I'm no longer in fear. I'm no longer worrying about others' perceptions. And another person helped me. That's another thing. I've been watching this other creator. He just blew up in the span of like a month. He got almost 4K subscribers. And he's so authentic. And he was like, you know, it's not my responsibility to hold the image of what other people created for me. It's my responsibility to keep reinforcing to myself who I am through my actions and thoughts. He ain't said that directly, but that's how I interpret it. And it was like, that was like what all of the other gifts, power-ups, magical abilities, obstacles, and strength that I've gained, that was the key to unlock the door. That's why I'm able to do this, because however you think about me, that's not my responsibility. It's my responsibility to do what I need to do for myself. It's my responsibility to create from an authentic space and enjoy my life. See, I took a deep breath when I said that. Yeah, man, so this is my first video. I'm probably gonna make a bunch today because I wanna get in this mix of interacting with this and growing, looking up things to do, how to be better at my craft, because I always execute at a high level and I'm just so very much interested in see what's to come. Like, my growth is always exponentially accelerated because I obsess over things and I learn things very quickly. And so, like I said, this is what I've always wanted to do, and I enjoy this, and I watch so many people blow up that I just know I'm next. I could not be next, because the only thing that was stopping me from being next was my inhibition to show up. I've always had a phone, always had a camera. I might not have always had internet at my house, but I always had a library, you know what I'm saying? I can go upload using their Wi-Fi, so it's like, you know, I'm not gonna let nothing stop me now. I used to be like, oh, I don't got nothing to wear for my video. I don't know what to talk about. Oh, I don't got a haircut. Oh, I'm not feeling happy. I don't want people that read my energy. It's like, you know, when I first started it, I'm like, okay, the camera started, what I'm gonna talk about. But now I'm flowing, you know, and I'm happy. So I just want to leave that message out for anybody else. Like, authenticity is the highest frequency. Get after what you want and know what you're going through is for your betterment. You just gotta survive it. Like the Super Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z, when they get into a fight, when they get into turmoil, when they get damaged from battle, and they recover, they at a higher level. That's literally life. I'm leaving.